Hi everyone, go ahead and grab 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap for yourselves tonight. Blankets will be over here, everything else will be on the wall over by the windows.
You're rolling.
We could do some rolling if you'd like it.
I mean, I already grabbed them, but I can put them back.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get the massage balls too. Let's do all the things. Heard. Testing, testing, testing. Awesome. Right. Hello, how's it going? Come on in and get settled. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. 2 blocks, a blanket, strap, some therapy balls, or if you're at home and you want some tennis balls, lacrosse balls is an option. Those are all alternatives. We'll get started in a moment. As you see people trickling in, if you can make a little bit of space, move a little bit closer to your neighbors. Maybe you can move a mat forward a little bit or back a little bit to make another row. That would be super helpful. We still got a decent amount of people that are trickling in right now. Thank you, everyone, for adjusting. It's January in the yoga studio. As you get settled, we'll do 2 blocks, a blanket, a strap, some massage balls, and they're all over here on this wall, and then the blankets are on this side if you'd like it for your knees. Let's see where we're at. All right, I think we're pretty close to everybody being in here. So if there are a few latecomers that are trickling in and you see that there might be a space, feel free to help direct them, like airplane, like right over here to those open spaces. Otherwise, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am not Anisha. I am Emma. I teach here on Thursday nights, so I'm happy to see you all. Some new faces to me, maybe some new faces to the studio. Welcome, Happy New Year. We're here. The holidays are over. We're back to reality for a lot of us this week. And really, I always like to start my classes by saying that everything that I offer is just that, it's an offering. So please feel free to take it or leave it. There's no obligation to do any of the poses that I cue. You can rest, you can hydrate, you can spectate, you can ask questions. I'll be mostly on my mat so that the viewers at home can see me. But if there's anything that comes up, feel free to just give me a little wave. I'm happy to, explain a cue a little bit more. If something's showing up in your body that you need a little bit of help with, feel free to let me know. And as we move into the new year, we're moving from the year of the snake, which is still for a couple more weeks. So for those of you that are not New Year's resolutioners like I am and procrastinate a little bit, the year of the snake ends at the end of January or early February, so we still have some time to marinate on the things of the past year, or we can just let it go completely, whatever is best for you. But as we move from the year of the snake has been one in which we have been looking inward and shedding the skin of some of those past lives, those things that maybe we don't need in our lives anymore. The shedding of the skin really represents that evolution, and maybe that evolution that can be a little bit uncomfortable from time to time. But it's inevitable. We're all going to continue to evolve and change. And sometimes those moments of change are a little bit more uncomfortable or stickier than others. But when you come out the other side of it, you have a lot more of like that inward stability and like knowing of where you are in your place and like knowing that era or whatever you want to call it has passed. And we can think about ourselves in like the person that we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and just how those are different versions of yourself. It's still you, but you've shed the skin a few times through. And you can see that that evolution and growth has made you to be who you are today. And as we move from the year of the snake towards the year of the horse, which again was happening in a couple of weeks, we're moving from year 9 in the Chinese zodiac calendar to year 1. So it really is this starting of new beginnings. And this ability to let things die that maybe need to, and be able to bring in this new found like momentum, the strength of the horse, and being able to use that like stability and that strength to move forward into this new year with knowing that you've done the work this past year, years past through this cycle, and that you have that like stability of the work you've done to move forward and continue to like move towards the things that you want to manifest for yourself, manifesting your own reality. And so we'll play with a little bit of momentum building today. We'll move a little bit quicker, then we'll move a little bit slower and just see what it feels like to kind of shift between those two paradigms a little bit, show what comes up where with your breath, with your body by moving quickly versus moving a little bit slower, and the subtleties that come into play as we do that. With that being said, are there any requests, parts of the body, poses, things that you all want to do tonight? Please let me hear them, truly. What was that? Twists, yes. That was on my docket too, so we're thinking the same, Shreya. Anything else? Balance, yeah, totally. We can do some balance. Anything else? We have the usual suspects like hips, shoulders, that good stuff. Any last little nuggets? Anyone? All right. Let's start in a heart bench tonight. So you're gonna find one block and you're gonna place it at the top of your mat so that we're all facing towards the front of the room. The head is facing towards the front of the room. One block on its highest height, and then one block on its height, about a handprint and a half or so in front of it. And it might not be perfect. You can kind of adjust as you get there. Yourself around so that your hips are in line with the blocks, and then slowly lower yourself down so that your upper back, your shoulders land on that block on its medium height. And you can use your hands to adjust to bring its highest height to the center back of your skull. And once you're there, bring your arms out long, palms face up. And you could have your knees bent, feet on the floor. One and the other, they're just a little bit different. And feel free to give me a little wave if you'd like an adjustment here. I just want me to check in on where your blocks are placed. Awesome. And as you come here to arrive in this heart bench, have your gaze soft. And start to pay attention to your breath without manipulating it or changing it too much to start. And see how your breath feels in your body, maybe for the first time today. With your inhale, notice that pause before your exhale and where it likes to hover. I know for me it's a little bit higher in my chest, closer to my throat. Yours might feel similar, or it might be a little bit deeper into your rib cage or your belly. And after a couple of those unchanged breaths, just noticing what your baseline is without judgment. start to deepen. Let your breath come in through your nostrils, down into your belly, filling up through your heart. And let your exhale come up and out through the crown of your head as your shoulders settle and soften. And take a few of those deep belly breaths on your own in this space together, where each inhale comes in, down, and wide to fill you up. And each exhale softens, grounds you, connects you. Continue with those deep belly breaths, where each breath that you take dissolves the day that was, and it helps you to arrive here and now. There's nowhere else to be but here with your breath. And each breath that you take makes space for what has yet to come. Each breath is an entryway to begin again and again, to check in with yourself, to notice how you feel and where you feel it. And with your breath, not my voice, take another nice deep inhale in, let it fill you up. And then exhale to let it all go. 2 more just like that. And at the bottom of your exhale, pause for a moment to notice the difference that comes when you listen for and remember your breath. And now, keeping that connection unwavering, gently prop yourself up onto your elbows just enough so that you can remove the blocks out from under you and lay right back down on your back. As you come to lay on your back, noticing what a difference may have made. And just a little bit of a counterpose to how a lot of us spend our days in front of computers, shoulders hiked up towards the ears. And after your next breath, bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet. Just take a moment here with your breath. With your next inhale, hug your right knee in towards your chest, and then bring your right ankle across the left thigh and press your right knee and thigh away from you to come into a supine pigeon. Flexing your right foot, pressing your right knee and thigh away from you. And keep with that deep belly breath. You can even use your right hand to literally press your right knee and thigh away from you. You might stay right here, or you can lift your left foot and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. One's not better than the other, they're just a little bit different. So maybe check in with yourself and feel what feels best for you. With your next exhale, lower your left foot back down onto the earth. Heel toe your left foot a little bit wider to the left while keeping that right ankle across the left thigh. And with your exhale, both knees fall over to the right to come into a bound supine twist. So your right ankle is over the left thigh here, giving it a little bit of weight. If this feels like a lot for you this early on, you can always remove the ankle and take this unbound for the supine twist. Your hands can be on your belly, out to a T or cactus. And then with your next inhale, bring your knees through center and we'll switch sides. Hugging that left knee in towards your chest, hooking your left ankle across the right thigh, coming into your supine pigeon. Flex your left foot, press your left knee and thigh away from you. Again, you can stay right here, or you can interlace your hands behind the right thigh, lifting your right foot. And one side might be different than the other, so you might take different options from side to side, which is okay. We're asymmetrical beings. Then after your next breath, if you lifted that right foot, lower it back down. Heel toe your right foot a little bit wider to the right, and with your exhale, both knees fall over to the left. Again, you can take this supine twist bound or unbound, whatever feels best for you. And then with your next inhale, release your left ankle down to the earth. Inhale your knees through center. And give yourself a little hug, hugging your knees in towards your chest, wrapping your arms around your shins. And taking a moment to maybe set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's something that you're working on, working towards, something that's been challenging you. Maybe it's staying present with your breath and letting what comes. And then with your exhale, roll over onto your favorite side and make your way towards tabletop position on all fours. As you come into your table, you can pad your knees as you need to. But have your wrists right underneath your shoulders, shoulder width distance apart. Pointer fingers pointed right ahead or turned a little bit out. And then take a peek at your knees. You want them to be about hips width distance apart, right underneath your hips, or a knee print behind the hips. With your inhale, drop your belly towards the mat, shoulder blades up and back as you lift your gaze. Exhale to press down through your palms, round your back and tuck your chin. Take a few rounds of your cat-cow here, linking breath and movement nice and slow. And you can take any organic movements like hip circles, stretching back towards puppy or child's pose. Just moving in ways that feel meaningful, that help you connect with your breath. And then the next time that you come through center in your neutral spine, pause there. Reach your right leg back behind you and tuck your toes on the mat. Keep your gaze neutral, so right between your fingertips or a little bit in front of them to keep your neck nice and long. And as you exhale, shift back into your right heel to get into that calf stretch. Notice if you tend to go into a cow pose here, try to tuck the ribs up towards the spine. Keep the crown of your head reaching forward. Then with your next inhale, shift your shoulders back over your wrists and lift your right heel hip height. Flex your right foot and dial the right toes over towards the left, almost like you're turning the toes over towards 10 o'clock, and lift from the right inner thigh. Nice. That'll help square the hips here. You can stay right here, there's plenty to do, or start to walk your left fingertips out in front of you. You can pause right here, there's plenty to do, or lift your left bicep by the ear to come into bird dog. You can stay right here, again, plenty to do, lots of options, or bend your right knee and press your right heel up towards the sky like you could stomp a footprint in the ceiling. And then from here, maybe you reach your left fingertips back towards the right foot. They might not reach, they might just be reaching towards the foot here early on, but hover. And then inhale to unwind, coming back to table. And take a little cat-cow just to cleanse it out, get a little cycle in here. And then as you come back into your tabletop position, reach your left leg back behind you, tuck your toes on the mat. As you press down into your palms, reaching back through your left heel, reaching the crown of your head forward, as if you have like a nice long line of energy from your left heel through the crown of your head. And then as you inhale, shift your shoulders over your wrists, lift your left heel hip height. Dial those left toes over towards 2 o'clock this time and lift from the left inner thigh. This helps to wrap the left hip forward and down, right hip up and back to keep those hips square. Tuck the ribs back, and then maybe you walk your right fingertips out in front of you. You can stay here or lifting right bicep by the ear. You can stay here or bend the left knee, press the left heel up towards the ceiling, squeezing that left glute. Maybe you reach your right fingertips back in the direction of the left foot. It's okay if it doesn't clasp, it's early on. But either way, you're lifting that left heel up towards the sky, reaching the crown of your head forward. Inhale to unwind, come back into your tabletop position. And again, take a little cleanse here, a couple of cat-cows. Then as you come back towards your tabletop position, reach your right leg back behind you and tuck your toes on the mat. Reach your left leg back behind you and tuck the toes on the mat, coming into your plank. Press down into your palms to round through that upper back just slightly, pressing yourself away from the floor. And then exhale, shift your hips up and back to come to your first down dog. You can pedal it out a little bit side to side, noticing how you feel it. It's our first down dog of class, but we've done a little bit of work already. And as you come to more stillness here in your down dog, take a peek at your hands. You want them to be about shoulder width distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. And spread the fingers nice and wide, like you're palming 2 basketballs. And as you inhale, root down through your hands and your feet and lift your hips as high as you can. Yes. With your exhale, press your hips back towards the wall behind you. Awesome. With your next inhale, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale to fold. Your hands can be on blocks, on the floor. You can give yourself as much of a bend in the knees here as you need to. Just breathing into the back body, the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves, all the good stuff. This stuff's always a lot tighter this time of year, so give it a little extra love, a little extra TLC. And then with your next inhale, halfway lift, reaching the crown of your head forward, sit bones back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise, fingertips reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, take it back to a plank. Take a full round of breath here in your plank, knees up or down. And then with your exhale, bend your elbows, lower your chest through chaturanga all the way down. Untuck your toes, shoulder blades up and back. Inhale to lift your heart. And exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, slowly rise, fingertips reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keeping your hands at heart center, sit your butt back and down to come into chair pose, Utkatasana. As you sit your butt back and down, reach the heart forward and up. And then with your next exhale, start to bring your right elbow either to the inside of the right thigh or the outside of the left thigh for twisted chair. Pressing your hands into one another helps bring your shoulder blades up and back. And notice if your right knee wants to pop forward from the left. Try to keep your knees parallel with one another. A full breath here, a full breath out. And then shift your weight over into your left foot and lift your right heel like you're standing like a stiletto here. Yeah. You can stay right here, or maybe you lift your right heel to right butt cheek. Woo, for some balance. You can always tap the toes down. And then lower that right foot down. Inhale to bring your hands through center. Reach up, stretch up. And exhale, hands on either side of you. Nice. Any questions before we do the other side? Awesome. Inhale to reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Sit your butt back and down. Start to bring that left elbow to the inside of the left thigh or the outside of the right thigh. As you press your hands into one another, it helps to bring your shoulder blades up and back. Sit bones reach back and down, heart forward and up. Shift your weight over into your right foot. Lift your left heel, playing with some balance and asymmetry. And then maybe lift your left heel to left butt cheek. Breathing fully and deeply. Slowly lower it back down. Inhale back through center. Reach up, stretch up. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, take it back to a plank. Full round of breath. An option can be to take your vinyasa or take it back to downward facing dog. If you're following the vinyasa, you're lowering through your chaturanga. Inhaling back through Cobra, and exhaling to downward facing dog. With your next inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. You can have your hands on blocks, on the floor. Just finding that you're set up where you feel the most stable here. Making sure your feet are more like railroad tracks than a tight rope. So if you need to, you can walk your right foot over to the right just slightly. And as you inhale, hug your feet towards one another and maybe reach fingertips up and overhead to come into your crescent lunge. As you lift through the back heel, descend through your front thigh, and then find a little bit of buoyancy in your left knee. Inhale as many steps or hops as you need to come to a one-legged Tadasana. Left knee in line with your left hip. Cross ankle over thigh, sit back and down to come into pigeon chair. Your hands can be overhead, heart center, cactus, whatever helps you balance here. Flex your left foot, press your left knee out to the left and back behind you. With your next inhale, slowly unwind. We're going to take this transition slow here. Hands can be overhead or at heart. Start to hinge forward, let your heart lead the way. Heel to butt cheek. Flex that foot, heel to butt cheek, and then press your left heel back towards a warrior three. Bend through your front knee and descend. Ta-da! Gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Lower your hands, take it back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, reach your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. Finding your foundation first. Hands can be on blocks, on the floor, hugging your feet towards one another. Create a little bit of lift here. And then as you feel stable with your next, reach your arms up and overhead. Nice. As you lift through your back heel, descend through your front thigh. Tuck your ribs back, shoulder blades up and back, head back. Start to find that buoyancy again through that back knee. And with your next inhale, spring forward as many steps or hops as you need to your one-legged Tadasana. Nice. Cross ankle over thigh, sit back and down, coming into pigeon chair. Flexing your right foot, press your right knee out to the right and back behind you. As you sit your butt back and down, heart forward and up. Take one more breath here. And then with your next inhale, rise back up to that one-legged Tadasana. Hinge forward, let your heart lead the way. How slow can you go? Flex the right foot, heel to butt cheek, and then press your right heel back, lower through the front knee, and dismount. Lower your hands, take it back, downward facing dog. You can stay here, you can sip on some water, or you can take your linking vinyasa, if and as you like. With your next inhale, reach your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. Lower your back knee down and pad as needed here. And bring blocks inside of your right foot to come up a little bit higher. As you come into this low lunge, feel what it's like to drag your back knee forward, front foot back to square the hips. Again, this helps to wrap that left hip forward, right hip back, and creates a little bit of lift from the base of your pelvis. You're coming more upright rather than sinking here, all right? As you drag the back knee forward, front foot back, bend your left knee, reach back and around. Actually, I lied. We're gonna do the twist. So go ahead and bring your left hand on a block on its medium height, its lowest height, or no block, whatever your preference is, and bring your right hand to your right thigh. Shoulder blades up and back as you start to twist your left bottom rib over towards the right. Keep dragging your back knee forward, front foot back, and then bend your left knee. Reach back with your right hand for the left foot, or a pant leg or a strap. One of the hacks too can be, if this feels like a far reach, you can bring the block wider and then back, and that shortens the distance to reach back for the foot. And then you can always walk it back forward once you have the foot. But wherever you're at, flexing your left foot, pressing foot into hand, hand into foot, tuck your ribs back, shoulder blades up and back, head back, and then descend another inch into your front thigh. With your next inhale, unwind, hands to blocks. Bring both blocks, framing your front foot this time, on either side of your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, coming into that lunge. And then walk your blocks forward as far as you can out in front of you. Find a little bit of buoyancy in your back knee, that left knee, and then spring forward, coming into your warrior three. Supported warrior three, hands on blocks, pressing the hands into the blocks to find that connection to your upper back. Flex your left foot, turn the left toes over towards 2 o'clock, lift from the left inner thigh. Reaching the crown of your head forward, bring your right thumb to your right hip crease and tack the right hip crease back. One more breath here. And then with your exhale, slowly lower the right hand, lower the left foot back, landing in your lunge. Put the blocks off to the side. Take it back, downward facing dog. And take a moment to check it out side to side. Be with your breath. And then with your next inhale, reach your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. Lower your back knee down and bring hands to blocks inside of your left foot. You can always heel toe that left foot a little bit wider. But as you drag your back knee forward, front foot back, creating that lift, start to bring your left hand to your left thigh. Right hand can come down a notch or two onto the block, and maybe a little bit wider. As you exhale, twist that bottom right rib over towards the left thigh. Keep dragging that back knee forward, front foot back. And then bend your right knee, reach back and around with your left hand for your right foot, or pant leg or strap. As you flex your right foot, press foot into hand, hand into foot, and lean back on your shoulders to reach your heart forward and up. With your next inhale, unwind, hands to blocks. Bring those blocks to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, coming into that setup here. Walk the blocks forward as far as you can. And then with your next inhale, spring off of your right foot to come into your warrior 3 setup. Flex the right foot, dial those right toes over towards 10 o'clock, and lift from the right inner thigh. Your blocks should be right underneath your shoulders here. So if they're a little bit forward, you can walk them closer, or if they're too close to your foot, you can walk them out. Lifting that right inner thigh, bring your left thumb to your left hip crease and tack the left hip crease back. Reach the crown of your head forward as you stomp your right foot back. And then with your next exhale, lower the left hand to blocks. Walk the blocks back and land in your lunge. Blocks off to the side, plant your hands, take it back, downward facing dog. You can take a linking vinyasa if and as you like. Sip on some water, rest, hydrate. And then once you get back to your down dog, lower your knees, bring your knees wide, toes to touch, and sit back towards your heels to come into child's pose. And as you come into your child's pose, an option that can feel really great for the back is bringing 2 blocks on their lowest height, right underneath where your elbows would be if you're extending your legs long, and bringing your hands to prayer. And then from here with elbows on blocks, bending your elbows, bringing your prayer behind your head. As you let the chest melt towards the mat, breathing into the back body, the triceps, the lateral muscles of your back. Wherever you're at, taking full, deep belly breaths. After your next breath, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. With your next inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bring your right knee to right upper arm and hover here. Inhale, bring your right leg back high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to chest and hover. Press yourself away from the floor, lifting your right heel. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left upper arm, as high as you can towards your armpit, pressing yourself away from the floor. And then from here, kick your right foot over to the left side of your mat so that you're on the outer edge of your right foot, and then press down into your palms to shift your hips back. To come into this twisty down dog, IT band stretch. You can stay here, there's plenty to do, or you can roll onto the inner edge of your left foot, reach your left fingertips up and overhead to come into fallen triangle, leaning back on your shoulders, lifting the hips and breathing. Inhale to unwind, and then from here, listen carefully, you're gonna drag your right knee all the way over to the right side of your mat and land in your pigeon prep. Yeah, nice. So the right knee drags all the way over to the right side of the mat, and your right knee lands wider than your right hip. Your shin can be parallel to the short edge of the mat. It can be a little diagonal to the short edge of the mat, whatever is best for you. But as you lower the left knee down, take a peek over your left shoulder to ensure your hip, knee, and ankle are in line with one another. And if not, you can always walk your left knee over to the right a little bit. And you want to be more on the outer edge of your left kneecap. That's kind of the rule of thumb here. And as you inhale, hug your knees towards one another. Create a little bit of lift here from the base of your pelvis. As you exhale, reach the crown of your head up towards the sky, shoulder blades up and back. From here, bring yourself up onto blocks on their highest height. Keep hugging your knees towards one another, and then bend your left knee. Reach back and around with your left hand for your left foot to come into a thigh stretch. Nice. Flex your left foot, press foot into hand, hand into foot. And your right hand can be on a block inside of the right thigh, outside of the right thigh to come more upright, or you can reach right fingertips overhead. Flex the right foot, press foot into hand, hand into foot, hugging your knees towards one another. And then with your next exhale, slowly release. Put the blocks off to the side. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal it out side to side, coming back to your breath. We're playing that with that momentum shift, right? We're going from a quick kind of core work into a little bit of slower stretching in that pigeon and the thighs, and seeing how what those subtleties of like moving quickly, then slowing back down, feels like in the body. The momentum shift. With your next inhale, reach your left leg high to the sky. Inhale, bring your left knee to left upper arm. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, knee to chest, hover. Press yourself away from the floor. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, knee to right upper arm. And then kick your left foot out to the side. Press down into your palms to shift the hips up and back to come into your IT band stretch. Nice. From here, you can stay right where you're at in this IT band stretch, or you can roll onto the inner edge of your right foot and lift your right fingertips high to the sky. Lifting the hips high, shoulder blades up and back, and breathing here. Inhale to unwind. Exhale, slowly drag your left knee all the way over to the left side of your mat, and let your right knee land as you come into your pigeon prep. Ensuring that that left knee is wider than the left hip. Take a peek over your right shoulder to make sure your hip, knee, and ankle are in line. Tucking the back toes helps. And then you can walk that right knee over to the left just slightly. And as you're here, inhale, hug your knees towards one another. Notice how that helps to root the sit bones down towards the mat and helps you create a little bit of lift. And then bring hands underneath your blocks, or hands on top of your blocks. And bend your right knee, reach back and around with your right hand for the right foot to come into your pigeon thigh stretch. Flex your right foot, press foot into hand, hand into foot. And you can bring your left hand to a block inside of the left thigh, behind the left thigh, or you can reach fingertips overhead. Wherever you're at, hugging the knees towards one another, creating lift, like there's a string pulling the crown of my head higher. And then with your exhale, slowly release. Blocks off to the side, plant your hands, take it back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, come forward to a plank. Knees up or down. As you exhale, lower your chest through chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra, shoulder blades up and back. And then exhale, lower your chest. Make a pillow with your hands and rest in full pranam. Does everybody have a set of therapy balls, massage balls? Great. If not, I got you. Yep. Anybody else need a pair? Okay. Here you go. Yep. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right, you're gonna find your therapy balls. And you're gonna take one out of the tote. We're just using one. So if you've got somebody next to you, you can always split the tote as well. You're gonna bring the therapy ball right underneath your right thigh, at the base of your thigh, closer to your knee, but not like on the knee. You still wanna be on the fleshy muscle here. I'm just gonna make a sandwich massage ball or the lacrosse ball, whatever you might have at home. In that spot, you can start to bend and straighten your right knee. And you can be up on your, or you can lower yourself down, forehead, your forearms, whatever feels best for you. Is this anybody's first time doing massage ball work? So this is what we call myofascial release. So fascia is the connective tissue in the body that's like a little bit deeper than muscle. So when we do the massage ball work, we're getting into like the good stuff on how you view it. But it's for some. Hence, you can always bring a blanket underneath your thigh, and that lessens the pressure. Or you can do this again. The key is making sure you're still breathing fully and deeply. So slow, deep inhale, exhaling to let it go. And the next time that your right knee is bent, pause there. Start to roll your right knee towards the right edge of the mat, inseam of your pant. So your right knee is coming towards the right edge of the right heel, kind of over towards the left. Slowly roll it back towards center and roll the right knee over towards the left. And your right foot comes over towards the right so that you come more towards the outseam of your pants. And you're just going to roll a little bit side to side, inseam to out. Noticing what's showing up where. These are like the deepest, darkest corners, right, where things like to hide, tension likes to hide. And when we bring our attention to that tension, we're illuminating the darkest corners and noticing how bringing some tender, loving care, some release helps with the breath, with the body. And then as you bring your knee back through center, you can either, let's all use our hands, since we're in close quarters tonight, to bring the massage ball a few inches further north so that you're more in the center of your thigh. Same thing, start to bend and straighten. Going a little bit higher up, you might find some like similar stuff, or it might be completely different. Just were. Those are the things interesting to notice what's happening. Bending and straightening. Deep, full belly breaths, releasing. Right bent, so you can roll in, same here. Maybe you play it once you roll to your inseam, then straightening the leg, or the outseam, then straightening your leg. What's showing up there? Yeah. Surprises, right? Good surprises, bad surprises. It's amazing the places that we hold tension in the body. The next time that you pause there, lengthen the leg, and then we're going to hit one more spot, bringing the massage ball to the eye, kind of like just below the hip flexor is where we're kind of aiming for here. There's not like a perfect science to it, so wherever feels meaningful to you. And instead of bending and straightening this time, you're going to flex your right foot and so you're kind of like pressing the thigh into the massage ball. And then as you exhale, release and let your thigh kind of guide. So flex the foot, straighten the knee, spit the massage ball out of the thigh, and exhale, release, and let it sink a little bit deeper. And just do that a few times through. Flexing the foot, lengthening the leg, spitting the massage ball out. Bless you. And then after go ahead and release, bring the massage ball into your hands. Before we switch sides, just maybe take a moment, maybe on your forearms or on your hands, and just notice a different side to side. Hopefully there's a little difference. I know for me when I do this, like my right leg feels like 2 inches longer than my left leg right now. So let's go ahead and even that out. Massage ball to the base of your left thigh. And then start to bend and straighten. Same thing, second side. And it goes without saying, if at any point you find like a spot that you want to give a little extra attention to, you can always stick with that, tune me out, and do you. Bending and straightening, rolling inseam to outseam as you're ready to, as you'd like to. Noticing a different side to side. We're typically going to have one thigh that's like a lot tighter than the other. That's just how we are asymmetrical beings. One thigh is going to be kind of like the stability leg, and one's going to be the more flexible leg. Everybody feel like they have something like that? Yeah. Breathing fully and deeply. And noticing, like, when we're releasing tension in this way, sometimes the tension likes to travel to the next best thing with your jaw. So release your jaw, soften that jaw, soften your shoulders. It's sneaky like that. It creeps to the other next best place. And the next time that you come through center, pause there. Shift that massage ball a couple of inches further north into the middle of your thigh and start to bend and straighten. And again, rolling inseam to outseam if and as you like. It's kind of like going off-roading, like the lumps and bumps of the thighs. And then we'll hit one more spot, bringing that massage ball further north, just below your hip flexor-ish area. And then same thing, tucking your left toes on the mat, and then lifting your left knee to flex the thigh, massage ball out, and exhale to let the thigh gobble it back up. Take that a few rounds through, if and as you like. Nice and slow, keeping that integrity of your breath, deep, full belly breaths. Your next exhale, slowly release the massage ball, put it back in your tote. And we're not quite done yet, so we're meeting back in downward facing dog. As you come to your down dog, once you put the massage balls away, take a moment to check it out after giving those thighs some love, some attention. Noticing any extra space, any extra breath you can bring to that space. And then with your next inhale, float forward to your plank. Exhale to lower through your chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Coming back to the breath. Inhale to rise all the way, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands, take it back to a plank. Full round of breath. And with your exhale, lower through your chaturanga all the way down. Inhale for cobra, shoulders up and back, lifting the heart. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. With your next inhale, reach your left leg high to the sky. Your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. Bring your hands to blocks to frame your front foot. And start to reach your arms out long, as far as you can, and then start to find that buoyancy in your left knee. With your next inhale, spring forward, coming into that warrior 3 setup. Flex the left foot, turning the left toes over towards 2 o'clock, lifting the left inner thigh. Bring your right thumb to your right hip crease, tack the right hip crease back. And as you press down into your your left hand, twist your left bottom ribs over towards the right to come towards revolved half moon. You can keep your right thumb on your hip crease. You can bring your right hand to your sacrum, or you can reach right fingertips overhead. You can stay right here, there's plenty to do, or bend your left knee, press your left heel up towards the sky, and maybe start to reach your right hand back towards the left foot to come into revolved half moon with a thigh stretch. Flex the left foot, pressing foot into hand, hand into foot, and then inhale to unwind, hands to blocks. Lower the left foot down to meet the right, folding forward for a breath. And inhale to rise back up to stand. Whew. Questions, comments, concerns, conundrum. We started here on the knees. We worked our way up. We got into the thighs a little bit more. Any questions? This is one of those poses that's great. There's a lot of what I call bus stops, right? There's something for everyone here. So whether you're staying in the warrior 2 and just working that thumb crease back, that's great. That's a great place to be. You can start to twist, thumb crease here, hand to sacrum, fingertips overhead, great place to be. You can work this action of just pressing the heel up without the bind, reaching the fingertips back. Great place to be. Or maybe you're able to find that connection. There's something for everyone. So it really is about noticing and deciding where your boundary is today and honoring that. Because we don't always need to go past our boundaries. Life's hard enough. We can challenge ourselves from time to time. It's great to do that. But we can also be I'm good right here, and be able to honor that with your breath. Make sense? Cool. Downward facing dog. Left side. Inhale your left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step it through to a lunge. Bring blocks far forward. Finding that your right leg. With your next inhale, spring forward to bring that right heel hip height. Flex your right foot, dial the toes over to inner thigh. Nice. Stay right here. Down, right, tack your left hip crease. You can stay right here, or as your right bottom ribs over towards the left. Reaching the crown of your head forward, you find revolved half moon. Your hand can be on your hip, on your sacrum, or reaching fingertips overhead. Yes, you can stay here, or bend your right knee up towards the sky. Maybe you're able to find that bind of hand to foot. Maybe you're just reaching. Wherever you're at, reaching the crown of your head forward, squaring the hips, and inhale to unwind. Lower the right foot down to meet the left, and fold into the self. Nice job. Slowly heel toe your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance apart. Turn your toes out and sit your down to come towards Malasana. If you've got blocks, you can always place them underneath your butt here for some support. Elbows to the inside of your thighs. Press elbows into legs, legs into elbows, shoulder blades up and back. And then if you've got the support, you can remove it from under you And slowly come down to a seat. As you come to your seat, you're going to bring your hands back behind you with your fingertips pointed towards your toes, shoulder blades up and back, knees bent, feet on the floor. Shoulder blades up and back, rooting down through the palms. With your next inhale, shift your hips towards your heels. And then inhale to press down through your heels and lift your hips to come into reverse table. You can either keep your gaze towards your belly button to release any neck tension, or the crown of your head reaching long, but don't let the head drop here. Keep that neck nice and long. And then exhale, slowly lower all the way down and lower onto your back. With your knees bent, feet on the floor, find one of your blocks. And you're going to bring it in between your thighs, closer to your knees than to your crotch. We're going to come through a round of bridge. So with the toes pointed straight up, your heels are right underneath your knees, hugging the block in between your thighs. Bring your arms out long on either side of the mat. Bend your elbows so that your hands face one another across your heart, and wriggle your shoulder blades together like you're squeezing a grape in between your shoulder blades. With your next inhale, press down through your heels and lift your hips to come into bridge, that block. As you inhale, root down through the center back of your skull and hug the block. And as you exhale, root down through your heels and energetically drag your heels away from you. And then with your exhale, slowly lower vertebra by vertebra all the way down. Put your block off to the side. Heel toe your feet as wide as the mat and knock your knees in towards one another for constructive rest. We're going to complete one more round of bridge pose. I'll give the option for Urdhva Dhanurasana for those that want it and like it. For those that want something a little bit more restorative and are feeling pretty cooked, you can bring a block on its lowest height or second lowest height right underneath your sacrum and just rest here in the supported bridge and tune me out for the next few breaths. All right, so take whatever option is best for you and your body today. For those of you that want to follow along with me for the more active bridge to Urdhva Dhanurasana option, bring that block back between your thighs, feet hips width distance apart. Bending the elbows, hands face one another across your heart. Wriggle your shoulder blades together. And then with your next inhale, as you hug the block, lift the hips to come into your bridge pose. Rooting down to the center back of your skull. Hugging the block. You can stay here, or you can bring your hands on either side of your ears, fingertips point towards your feet. And then with your next inhale, press down through your heels, hug the block, and press up to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Nice. Reaching your heart forward and up, hugging the block. Wherever you're at, 2 more breaths. Reaching your heart forward and up as you root down through your heels. And then exhale to slowly lower all the way down, vertebra by vertebra. You can remove the block, put it off to the side. And then from here, bring your right thigh over the left, like you're zip-locking the thighs together. Shift your hips to the right so that way you stay on your mat. And exhale, both knees fall over. Your hands can be on your belly, out to a T, this. But slowing down the beginning of your inhale, end of your exhale. Inhale to bring your knees back through center, and we'll switch left thigh across the right, zip locking those thighs together. Shift your hips over to the left, knock your knees to the right to come into your supine twist. Inhale to bring your knees back through center, release your twist, and hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, coming back to that intention that you may have set at the beginning of your class. And you can stay here, or you can take happy baby, bringing your knees wider, and your hands to your knees, shins, ankles, or outer feet. As you shift a little bit side to side, feeling your back body on the earth. And then as you're ready, nice and slow, start to extend your legs. As you make your way towards rest, Shavasana. Feel free to add or remove layers. Put your glasses off to the side, let your hair down. Take any restorative options that might feel great for your body. That can be placing a blanket over your hips for some grounding. Or you can put blocks underneath your knees. Anything that you can do to make yourself even 2% more comfortable. Give yourself permission to take the time to set yourself up and as you come to arrive on your mat, let your eyes be soft. Let your breath be soft. For each breath that you take helps you to arrive here and now in rest. We take the momentum of the asana, the practice, so that we can slow down and begin again. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. And as you allow yourself to be breathed, let yourself feel heavy and grounded into the earth beneath you. And the heavier that you feel, the more spacious you might just become. And take a slow, deep inhale in. And an exhale to let it all go. Take another deep breath in and down. Let it fill you up completely. And an exhale to let it go. You can slowly start to awaken in the ways that feel sweet and gentle, like wiggling your toes, your fingers, tilting your head from one side and to the other. And then as you're ready, bend your knees, bringing your feet onto the earth, and roll over onto your favorite side to coil into yourself. Pausing here for a moment to notice a difference, if any, in your breath, mind, and body. And with the arm that's draped over you, gently press down into the earth to slowly make your way towards a comfortable seat. You can be seated on a blanket, on a block, cross-legged, legs extended, whatever feels comfortable for you. As you bring your hands to heart center and Anjali Mudra, this simple yet sincere gesture of self-reverence that honors the true teacher within each of you. Never further than your breath, guided by your heart, shedding the skin, making way for momentum of the new year to move towards that reality that you want to create and manifest for yourself through this practice, through your breath, heart, and mind. Take a slow, deep inhale in, and an exhale to let it go. 2 more just like that. I invite you to join me in the sound of Om to close out our practice together. Feel free to join in or to just bathe in the sound. Inhale for Om. Gently bow your head to your hands or bring your hands to your head as you bow to the divine within you, the divine in each other, and I bow to each and every one of you. Thank you so, so much for joining me tonight. Thanks, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, conundrums, hopes, dreams, aspirations for the new year, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you all around. Like I said, I usually am here on Thursdays with the Basics crew downstairs. So you're more than welcome to join us for that. And Anisha will be back next week. Have a good rest of your week, everyone. Hope I have the... If you borrowed a mat, please use the wipes over here to wipe them down for your fellow yogis. And I'll bring a little bit of brightness back to the room, hopefully not a lot at once. There we go. These lights are a little tricky. Oops, I'm sorry.